Okay, so I'm just leaving Hull College Craven Park, as you can see. It's the game today. They've beaten Leigh Centurions in the Challenge Cup by 22 points to 19, and people keep telling me that this cup doesn't matter as much anymore, and it's not as important as Super League. If you get a chance to see the reaction to Rovers' last few seconds victory today, I think that tells its own story, that this competition does really matter. It's far more important than I think some people are maybe prepared to admit. Leigh got off to a flying start. They flew into a 12-0 lead. They looked very good. They looked very composed. They knew exactly what they were doing. They were, they looked every bit the top championship side who were looking at a soon return to Super League. And then the second quarter of the game, Rovers seemed to hit them with some of their Super League know-how and Super League quality. You know, when you can call on people like Sean Kenny Dowell, Jordan Abdul, and one lad who really impressed today was Mikey Lewis, who I think we've got the man of the match. And Rovers seem to have just that bit more know-how and too much guile for Leigh Centurions. Leigh then came back. Obviously, that Adam Higson got himself sin-binned twice, which seems a bit funny that he can get 2 yellow cards, but and not actually get a red card to go with the second one. However, the second one was within the last 10 minutes, so he was off for the rest of the game anyway. But in the end, that is what's really cost Leigh, because at the end they came roaring back at Rovers. They took a 19-18 lead. They looked organised. They looked like they knew what they were doing, and they were the better side. But Adam Higson left them short-handed at the end, and Ben Reynolds had kicked into touch in the Rovers half, and Rovers looking at, when you look back at the try that Ben Crooks scored against Hull FC in the derby, Rovers did what Rovers do very well. They flung the ball around and they went and scored a winning try. Nick Rawsthorne crossed, I think, with about 14 seconds left to play. Leigh were hard done to. They probably deserved to win. Having said that, I don't think Rovers deserved to lose either. The scoreline of 22-19 maybe isn't good enough for some Rovers fans, considering they were playing what is at the end of the day championship opposition, and a championship opposition that spent nearly half the second half down to 12 men. The first time that Higson was off the pitch for 10 minutes, Rovers didn't manage to score, which I think is a cardinal sin. But the second time they did, of course, score with a few seconds remaining. So there you go. I think that effort, though, that both these sides put in, and the reaction by both sets of supporters really tells a story about just how important this competition is. It is massively important. It's the only competition that really brings supporters out. When teams are going off to Wembley, it brings supporters out to see them off to Wembley. When a successful team comes back from Wembley, the fans come out to welcome them back. I don't think you get any of that with the grand final. You certainly don't get them seeing them off to Old Trafford, and that's why I think this competition is more important than some people would like to admit. But there you go. Hull KR are through to the 6th round of the Coral Challenge Cup. They've beaten Leigh Centurions by 22 points to 19 by the skin of their teeth.